Hello everyone! So on this episode of Tinkering with Terrius, I decided that I want to put together this little circuit board here. This was sent in by one of my subscribers, and it is basically a little solar light PCB. It uses one of these YX8018s as the solar charge controller. It's a fairly simple little circuit board to put together because it has so few components here. I don't have a small solar nickel metal hydride battery, so I will be using a AAA nickel metal hydride battery. And we're going to put it all in this jar and hopefully make it so that it produces some fancy lights. Now this is a color changing LED. It's one of the short LEDs as well, so it has a fairly wide viewing angle. And this is just a little foil circle I cut out, roughly the same size as the bottom of the jar, just so that there's a little bit of a reflector in there to prevent light from just shining straight through the bottom of the jar. The nice thing is this is a textured jar. It's going to create all sorts of interesting patterns when the light shines through it. So one of the first things we have to do is attach the leads to the solar panel, which are going to be these, and they are just plain stranded hookup wire. And I didn't know exactly how long they'll have to be because it's a fairly small area we're working in, but I decided to make them fairly long just in case. Now for the jar, I did cut out a hole here in the middle where the solar panel is going to sit. It's this outer blue outline here. This inside area is a bit bigger than the actual contact points for these, so we'll make sure to cover up these parts on here, and we'll make sure that these can poke directly through, and that way they're not obstructed. So yeah, it's going to be a fairly simple kit, but let's put it together. I did pre-bend the legs on this YX8018 just because otherwise it's a pain to put them into the hole. I hope it goes in this direction. Just going to assume so. We'll see what happens. These components are all really super easy to solder in and everything. It's the LED that's going to be interesting because I want it to be kind of hanging down a bit from the PCB, and that's why we have these two pieces of solid hookup wire. Okay, I left the leads on the chip just in case I have it in backwards, because that will make me sad, but we're going to do the LED. So this is actually going to stick through to the back side. There we have the LED sticking out. Next we are going to attach the leads to the solar panel. These are basically just going to come off straight down off the bottom like that. Sure that there's no clearance issues. Nope, we are good. So we use solid wire on the LED leads here just so that we can bend them and move them however we want. Stranded on the solar panel just so it's more flexible and easier to bend into shape. Stick this solar panel onto the jar lid. To do that, we've got some hot glue. We're going to cover up that pad. We're going to cover up this pad to make sure that they don't have any issues. And we're going to put a blob around here. Hopefully this will seal down. We're also going to flood this area here just to make sure nothing comes in contact. And theoretically this will also prevent any water from getting in. Okay, so we're going to let this cool because that is extremely hot right now. This is hot melt hot glue. We may as well solder on the LED. It's going to be this little LED here. However, we want to make sure we put on some heat shrink tubing. We're just going to glue down the battery holder now, right about here. I'm going to trim the leads off here. I'm just going to peel the plastic protective layer off of the solar panel here, and we have our little circuit board and everything attached. So now we can fit that all in the jar. And it looks like our LED needs to be pulled up a little bit. So you can see the LED is suspended in the middle there. That YX8018 detects when there is light coming to the solar panel, and that lets the battery charge up, and then when there is no light, it turns off. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the lights in here and see. Well, there we have it. It makes a very cool pattern on the table here. So yeah, that is my little mini solar light. Now, I don't believe there's anywhere you can buy these little circuit boards, but you can certainly make them on perf board. These YX8018s are very handy, and this is a way you can add fancy color to your patio or something. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little quick build video. I think it looks pretty cool, going through the different colors there. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give a big thumbs up to it, and if you haven't already, then subscribe to the channel. If you have anybody that's interested in solar lights that might like this, then be sure to share it with them. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the section below. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.